you guys play the original Dawn of War games?
Yeah, I played
That
it.
was fucking awesome. That was like my intro to 40K.
Was it?
And even though it's like, incomplete as far as a proper 40K thing is concerned, it was the perfect like softcore introduction to the whole game. I got
thrown in the deep end. The Rogue Trader TTRPG was my introduction.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and what's fun about that is I got to be the Rogue Trader.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
mine was simply the war game. Played the tabletop.
What a fucking nerd.
Yeah, my boyfriend really liked it at the time, and you
gay nerd.
Yeah. Welcome to AnythingCast, by the way. I'm Patrick.
I'm Eric.
Gay.
Nerd.
God damn. God damn.
You got it. You got it.
You got it. Come on, boy.
Warriors.
Where's I'll give you a hint. Waldo. Your name is Waldo. Is our guest Waldo today?
Your autism is dribbling out of your mouth.
I was trying to make a cool 40K name, but I couldn't think of one.
Oh, speaking of autism, check out this sick shirt I got at the gas station.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yes, I saw the picture
Autism
you put up of that.
One of many. It has a big truck on it.
Yeah, go check out on my main channel.
18-wheeler truck.
Yeah, I posted it on my main channel in the community tab. This shirt rules.
Yeah,
buy that shit. Support No, don't support autism.
Support autism.
Support autistic people.
Hey, I've got a question about that.
What's that?
Medical
So,
research.
like, there are some people who want to cure autism, right?
Sure,
And, like,
that's fine.
The idea is like you could cure it, through gene therapy and
Could you?
something like that. In theory,
maybe.
Is it
I don't know.
genetic
I mean, I don't know
disease?
enough
yeah,
about
autism's genetic,
autism.
right? Because you're missing like a chromosome or something like that.
Well, no,
Down
that's like
syndrome.
Down syndrome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I'm sure it's genetic.
Yeah,
Well, autism.
Something's fucking wrong with him. That's what I'm saying.
You might have heard this, but autism is a bit of a spectrum. You see.
Yeah.
Which means there's probably, honestly, I would guess that in the future, as we continue to like isolate and do better research, we'll probably take some stuff out of that spectrum and just say, oh, this is caused from something else.
How long before these soft liberals just tell us all of us are autistic?
Well, I was going to say, they're gonna fix me.
I think everyone is essentially mentally ill in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Of course.
We're all flawed to a certain degree.
I guess then, maybe not autism, but then switching things to Down syndrome.
Sure.
Some people would want to cure that.
That makes sense.
That's
genetically, but I've
viable,
heard I've heard people with Down syndrome like get on like platforms and be like in like town halls and stuff and be like, I don't think this should be legal.
Yeah,
you shouldn't fix me. So what are the thoughts on that?
So wait, like fix them after they're born?
Yeah.
Well, you could with CRISPR technically, but like it would have to be voluntary. Obviously, we're not gonna go full on.
If you don't
fucking Hitler, and
if you don't fucking want to, then
and
you're already a functioning
involuntary cure your downs.
Yeah. Did you know there is a good argument against it that Down syndrome people in general are happier than people without Down syndrome.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have a better quality of life and a greater level of happiness statistically than other people do.
It feels like a joke, like I mean, like
you shouldn't say that.
Yeah,
that's
real.
Like
a joke though, like oh, they have Down syndrome, so they're too dumb and they're not happy, or they're happy because they don't understand things or something.
If a Down syndrome guy went to court, which this is where I got that.
Necessarily do with them being dumb. Maybe it has to do with their brains release more dopamine.
Yeah,
I mean, okay, sure, I guess.
If a guy went to
I don't think
town
that's
hall,
what's being implied entirely here.
What is being implied, Eric? Put it in words for us.
There was like a guy at town hall that had Down syndrome that went and was like, hey, well, let me. Actually, it sounded more like. I have Down syndrome, and people with Down syndrome are statistically happier than people without.
Just say it normal. Just say it normal.
You sure? Okay.
It, yeah.
He said that people with Down syndrome are generally statistically happier than other people. And then I want to believe that if Eric was on the council, he would have just responded with, "What is this? A joke?"
I want to imagine like they were like, "Well, Mr. Downs, are you a scientist?"
Also, I'm sure.
Actually, I have a doctorate.
I got to be completely honest. I'd be pretty fucking happy if I could live in my parents' house and have my living paid for and tended to directly.
If I could be Dr. Downs living at my parents' house, living off the government's dollar.
Like if you're
I like to imagine Dr. Downs has like one of those rubber mallets.
He's got a rubber degree, is what he's got. Printed that shit off
so he can chew on it without it.
Hey, he ain't no worse than a New York.
Sometimes his parents
I'm
put
sorry,
in the freezer.
Will, that's fucking. I can't. Parents put it in the freezer. Fuck. God damn it.
Dr. Downs is no worse than a back alley New York doctor.
He's the guy from
printing off his degree.
Well, yeah, I mean, he'll kill you trying to save you. The doctor in the back alley will harvest your organs
wants
and
your
dump
money.
you in the
He wants your
dumpster.
money.
You're not going to survive either of them.
Yeah, you're not. The end results will be the same. But at least,
who do you pick,
at least
Dr.
the Down
Downs?
syndrome guy was trying.
Who do you pick, Dr. Downs or the back alley New York City doctor?
Neither.
What's a good name for back alley doctor? Dr. Knife?
Dr. Morbius?
Dr. Downs or Dr. Knife? Which one you choosing? It's just a checkbox on the piece of
It just
paper.
makes me think of like the Futurama, like the back alley nose salesman or something like that.
I guess I go with Dr. Downs. At least he's going to be nice.
He's going to be happy.
Yeah.
Statistically, he'll be happier than
Dr.
the other
Knife
guy.
has no bedside manners.
No, absolutely not. He's probably also drunk.
He's German.
He's
tweaked out on amphetamines of some sort.
Why is he a Nazi?
I didn't say whoa.
Are you implying that all Germans are somehow Nazis?
Stereotype much.
I'll have you know there are more Nazis in America right now than there are in Germany.
True.
Nazism seems to be a mostly American problem right now.
It is more likely that someone in this house is a Nazi than there's someone in Germany being a Nazi.
We've been over this. We know who here is a Nazi. We know.
Thank you. I see what we're going with here. I thought we had dropped that. I thought we'd moved on finally.
I have an ear infection, boys.
Oh, that sucks.
If my energy is low, I apologize.
Let's put a little mark on all these earmuffs for now, and just make sure we get the same ones next week.
Yeah.
Why don't you Lysol yours right after
it's
this?
It's deep in the canal. You ain't got to worry. It's and I'm taking fucking, what is this? Cefdinir. Check out the way these fucking pills look. These pills look fucking sick.
Okay.
Looks like some shit that would be in Akira. Like, I want to grab that shit out of a bowl and eat 17 of them.
It looks like that would like give you the brain power to invest in the stock market.
Yeah, it's literally, I'm literally getting blue pilled. For the listener, I guess this is a visual bit. They're just blue pills. They look like the thing from The Matrix.
Yeah, they look like the very stereotypical
they look
sci-fi
like
pill.
After you got done taking them, you'd have to tell somebody very teary-eyed to take care of Argonaut.
Oh, yes, I see what you're saying. I have no idea what that means. So
But those who do,
somebody in the audience got it.
Someone out there, shout out in the comments if that reference made sense to you.
Yeah, I'm not going to explain it.
Yeah,
but
don't.
Someone out there is crying right now.
Some very nerdy guy is crying.
Mm-hmm.
Will and I went to the symphony.
Yeah.
That's another topic that I wanted to talk about. Will and I are bougie sons of bitches.
It was fun.
Oh, nice.
It was not. You hated it.
I didn't hate it.
You had the hardest time.
At Beethoven's 6th.
At the first movement of Beethoven's 6, you pulled the program out, pointed to the second movement, and we're like, is this where we are? Like with a worried tone. And I was like, yes. Because it's got like 30 more minutes into the symphony.
Yeah, but Beethoven's 6 was at the end, in fairness.
Yeah.
So, come on.
It was like 40 minutes. Beethoven 6 is about 40 minutes long.
Gotta be completely honest. I do not know the famous composer's pieces by number.
6? The 6 is a really boring one,
Check
to be
out this
honest.
fucking play.
What a fucking plebeian, am I right?
Yeah, what a fucking pleb.
Can't believe
sorry,
you're
I
on.
don't know Bach's whole catalog or anything like that, but you know.
There was, they played one like World War I-esque composer?
Composition.
Composition, that's
there you
the
go.
word.
Yeah, composer's the guy.
He was like composed in 1814 and then finally played in 1920 or something.
I have
like that.
no fucking clue. Do you think I was listening to that gay
I don't
ass
know.
shit?
Anyways,
they get up before they
some
play
shit, and it was supposed to remind you of a bird flying over meadows.
Did it remind you of a bird flying over meadows, Will?
I guess.
Yeah.
A lot.
It had the fluttery
How
sound.
much of that was just because they said that right beforehand?
I'm sure all
would
of it.
Would you have had any thoughts like
I will
that
give
whatsoever
it that I think
if they
it would have.
implanted it?
I would have gotten the general feeling of flying.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it was a very fluttery song?
Yeah.
Or
yeah, it was
composition?
fluttery.
I guess not
especially
song.
the violins. The violins were very fluttery.
God, and the cute-ass girl at the front row
God, there was
playing
a
bass.
mousy girl playing bass, wearing like these big-ass glasses. Very cute.
Yeah, Will was into it. Will was fucking into it. He couldn't keep his eyes off her.
He wants
the
that
whole
nerdy
time.
bassist.
Yeah.
He's all about that bass.
Well,
about that bass. About that bass.
no treble, if I recall. I believe that was her. I believe that was what she said.
I believe Will does not want any trouble.
Yeah.
No.
I believe that was his statement at the time. Right before they put him in cuffs.
For rushing the stage.
She's 16. Like, oh.
Let's be honest. We're in Mississippi. That's the age of consent here. Also, wait a minute. I think
the
consent.
conditional age of consent. I do
There's
not
conditions
think
applied.
anyone in this room could make love to a 16-year-old legally.
Also, I don't
Nor
think
should
that
they.
Rushing the stage
Oh my
would
God.
imply consent. I think.
Weirdly
Yes.
topical. Did you guys hear about Vosh?
Yes. Yes,
Hell,
I heard all about
wasn't
our
that
friend
crazy?
Vosh.
From
Yes.
Trigun,
No, not Bash.
The fucking YouTuber.
King Bosch,
Vosh.
guy with the spoon.
V-A-U-S-H.
Middly Dosh, the leftist named Vosh.
No, I have no fucking clue what this is. What is this?
I didn't know about him until this happened, to be fair.
Yeah,
I can explain the
I'd
gist of it real quick for Patty.
I had seen maybe 3 of his videos because I heard he was like, a leftist, and I wanted to see what it was about. And then this came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, holy shit.
It was like goddamn leftist
Now,
rhetoric.
weirdly
Fucking
enough,
leftist.
I actually, I guess because I had seen the other, YouTubers talking about it, but Keffel's video popped up on my feed responding to it, and I was like, well, this will be the first and only time I ever click on a Keffel's video. What did... And I will say that they did give you the before and after of a lot of those quotes taken
All right,
about
so
it.
you can't keep talking like this. You're gonna have to explain
We
for the
can't
audience
talk
what
around
happened.
it. So let me lay
Explain
it
for the
down.
audience
Lay it
what
out,
happened.
Will.
So Vosh was trying to save a photo to his files, right? And when the file came up on his save to, it was his lolly folder.
Lolly and horses.
Lolly and horsecock folder. Yeah.
No, not just horse cock.
Oh, yeah,
he was very
lollies
specific
do
that it has to be a
exophile
horse.
things to the horses.
Like, not just a man with a
So
massive cock.
we've
It has to be a
got 3
horse.
elements going on. We've got lollies, we've got bestiality, and then we've got lollies mixed with the bestiality.
It was all animated, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
As
and
far
that-
as we all know.
Was he on
that
stream?
argument has been burning across the internet right now as to whether or not it matters that it's
As-
animated.
It really
would
depends
say-
on who you ask. If you're a
It
libertarian,
is going to come down to who you ask. But
Yeah.
we're not here to discuss that.
Right.
We're here to discuss Vosh. So,
because I think everybody knows our position on that.
right. Sure.
I just wanted to.
Make it more vague.
Yeah, exactly.
Much like our views on Israel and Palestine.
Yes, we've spoken at length, as a matter of fact, on these topics.
There's a specific podcast for that. You can go back and watch that if you'd like to know our positions.
Where was I at?
Sorry.
Vosh. So Vosh,
So-
Vosh got caught with a lot of lolly and bestiality, basically.
Mhm. Right on stream,
or
on
I
live.
guess the more internet term would be feral.
I guess it really depends if it's like actual animals. That would
As far
be
as I
feral.
know, it was, but
Yeah.
it's not like I saw pictures. It was all blurred out.
Oh yeah,
on
I didn't
YouTube.
see the pictures, but I did see a video of him specifying that he does watch animated porn
so
specifically
Vosh has
of horses.
clips of him actively saying, "No, I do like horse cock."
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he gay? Is that
No.
what this is?
No.
I don't know.
He
He's-
likes to imagine himself as the horse.
Oh, okay. Well, that's perfectly fine. I also like horse cock dildo porn. That's pretty cool. It's always interesting seeing
That's
some
the
woman
trick,
be able
though.
to.
He has to actually be a horse, though. It's not just the cock. The cock isn't necessary. He has to have the big
Vosh has
thrusting
some
hips of a
obvious
horse.
thrusting animal.
mental issues.
Uh-huh.
I think we can clearly see.
Mhm.
But yeah, do you think this is the end of Vosh?
Probably. If I had to guess, I mean, considering the political stage at the moment, I don't think anybody's going to forgive anyone for looking at lolly porn.
Now there are like a bunch of clips of him talking about lolly and child porn in general.
Really?
Oh yeah, he doesn't think it's wrong for people to buy child porn.
Wait. I did see the extended clips on that, and I will say this much. He's trying to make the point that consuming things like cell phones and things that use like lithium and the like, that's ore mined by slave child labor in tiny little mines, is like the same thing as purchasing child porn, because he's saying you're purchasing a product that's directly harming children.
Yeah. My argument to Vosh is that there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, but I at least don't look at child porn. Fuck you.
It's not much of an argument. That's just an appeal to ethos. But yeah, I see what you mean.
I mean, no, so I'm not the one looking at child porn. What can I say?
Well, hey, let's be honest here.
I'm just a blue-blooded factory worker who wants my fucking boss to pay me a living wage.
There's got to be a horse involved, all right?
Yeah. As far as the quotes are concerned, though, you can go back through it and see that he's making an incredibly inflammatory point to try and be
it's just a bad one.
A guy on YouTube making an inflammatory point, never.
It's like, well, if you're going to do that, you might as well just make child porn legal or whatever, like, is kind of what he's saying, basically. Right. You know, which is like, okay, I get it. I get what you're saying. You know, don't directly fund the suffering of children or really any other human for the most part.
For the most part. If you can figure that out, God help you if you try.
Yeah.
But
it's a rabbit hole.
But
that
how about
will be very depressing.
How about you have a principle and stand on at least the one basic one of not consuming child porn?
Right.
Leftists can't have principles, Will. That's the whole problem with them. They're all degenerates.
Yeah, I guess. What is with like big YouTubers and just having problems with not looking at child porn?
So like Republicans are kill you evil, and
well, I mean,
leftists are rape you evil.
There are plenty of Republicans who are into child porn. Like they had the Alabama governor who was running or before the recent Alabama governor, they had that one guy who slept with a 16-year-old.
I don't know.
He was 30, so
yeah. So as we just discussed a second ago,
it's not like
it
is not prevalent on. I mean, fucking Trump was on Epstein's island.
Yeah, it was a prevalent thing in history. I mean, we can basically look at like how people naturally act by looking at historically how many people married children.
Like I think it's deeper. I think it's just once you get to a certain point of like, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, you're on Eric's team of once I have so much money, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, you do become fucking.
Why is that my team? What?
Because you are the one who parroted that on this podcast. You were like, you said, I think that it's really just these people gather so much power that they're like, I can do whatever I want.
Okay,
and then they start.
I think that's right.
You may sound like that was my opinion. Like if I have enough power,
is it not your opinion? Is it not your opinion?
No, he's saying he thought that I was saying that if he got enough power,
that is my opinion that people do that. Yes.
Yeah. And he absolutely would, is what he's saying. Yes, actually. If the podcast pops off and Eric becomes famous, he will immediately start doing heinous crimes.
I want to point out to everyone that I think the solution is like, you got to have like a third party. Look, you know what we need for these billionaires? A third party like moral police, basically.
How about just the normal fucking police be allowed in there to arrest them?
What is that, the church?
Yeah, like, hey,
what does that mean?
You woke up and didn't solve world hunger. You slap them real hard.
I wonder that would basically have to be God. You're basically saying, I think God should punish them.
They're going to go to hell for squandering their wealth. I mean, it's easier
eat the rich is what I'm trying to say.
It's easier for a
candle. Vosh, apparently.
It's easier for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to go to heaven.
Which I worry about if I ever.
I mean, I'm just saying.
If I ever become rich, I've thought about that quote a lot, and I'm like, God, because I mean, everybody wants to be rich,
of course.
Because I mean, like, it's just
you want life to be easy.
It solves all your
successful.
Problems.
Yes,
it
of
solves
course.
every one of your problems.
And then everybody looks at you and they clap and they say, "Good job, you did it. You solved life. You win." And you have to go, "Okay, I guess I'm going to hell." because I'm not passing a camel through the eye of a needle.
You're choosing the material world over the next one, man.
Yeah.
Like, what are you even supposed to do? What if you fall ass backwards into money? Well, what if you inherit money?
How about
you can give it away?
Yeah. How about solving the world problems?
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't be rich, and
Yeah,
my
you
life
wouldn't.
be
That's
easy.
the choice.
point.
That's the choice.
If you hoard money and become rich, then you're
Unfortunately-
not spending it on the people. You're spending it on yourself.
Unfortunately, you're the baker in this situation, and you can't make the cake and eat it. Somebody else is going to eat the cake. You're going to put it in the windowsill, and it's going to be gone.
All right, how
So
much
you're either-
money
you're either
do
the
I
guy-
get to keep
you're
to where
either-
I get to go to heaven?
A solid 80,000 a year.
A solid 80?
Yeah, enough to
in
live.
Mississippi, I guess.
Like just enough
if
to
I
live
live in New
normal,
York, how much do I get to keep?
Enough to live a
200.
comfortable life.
200,000 a year?
Yeah,
and
like, let's be honest.
whatever can get you a comfortable life.
Like, just your
I might want
needs
50K more than that. I might want a little bit more.
Why would you want to need a little bit more?
I mean,
You're comfortable.
I gotta have money for whores. I mean, what am I gonna? I'm not gonna buy fancy cars. I'm not gonna have a nice
Is
house.
whores not part of your comfort?
Okay. Yeah.
All right,
Okay. Yeah.
calm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
I said comfortable.
I mean, who wants to be rich and then not be able to afford whores?
Is that not part of your comfortable?
I guess that's true. You said 200,000
for him. I was thinking more like, normal, like comfortable minimalist life to a certain degree.
Whoa. I don't think everyone needs to be minimal. Like maybe moderately. Enough
Well, I mean,
for like a few video games every now and again, a whore every 2
exactly.
weeks or something.
See, he's on my team. A whore every week at least, right?
Video games.
Ideally, Patrick, there wouldn't be any whores. We wouldn't need a prostitution because they wouldn't need to make money because they would be comfortable.
Of course, I would just offer them. I would say you can stay in my house if you have sex with me. And then maybe they'd say
They'd
maybe
have
the
to be
government would give me.
homeless.
Ideally, they would just consent to sleeping with you.
Well, and maybe the government would give
Yeah.
us a tax break if we do that every now and again. If we sign a piece of paper and
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
If you have a polyamorous relationship with your neighbors, you get a tax break.
Mormons would love that.
yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to think like a rich
Yeah, well,
guy.
okay.
That's all. I'm trying to put myself in the rich guy headspace.
Well, the rich guy headspace is fuck the morals, use money to dominate.
I was telling Will last night I've been considering going back to church just for the sole purpose of rubbing elbows and meeting the rich people in the
you gotta
community.
go to the big mega churches.
Yeah, and then I realized I was like, wait a minute, that might be a sin.
That might
100%
be
a sin.
something that'll send you to hell quicker than not going to church, I think.
yeah.
That's something I was actually I remember thinking really far back as someone who wasn't super religious, being ridiculed by these other people in school who will then turn around and talk about them sleeping through church or doing other misbehaviors, and I'm just like, well, at least I don't fucking insult God to his face.
Yeah.
I'm choosing to be respectful over here.
What's the worst thing you ever did in a church?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't go to churches very often, so
Let's get around the table.
I
What's the
haven't
worst
really
thing you ever did?
I got in a fight.
I don't
You got
think
in a
I've
fight in a church?
Yeah.
I don't
Did you
think
win?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Did you kick his ass?
It was a short fight, but
Okay.
yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. How old were you?
13, I think.
Hell yeah. Nice. How'd it go down? What was it about?
I think he was just being a dick to my sister, and then he tried to do that tackle charge thing at me, but he was shorter than me, so
You just picked him up?
Oh wow.
I mean I just held him
Shorter
in
than
place
you.
and then hit him a bunch. He's tiny.
Eric. God
That little ant thought he could take me.
Jesus Christ.
Bull rushed me.
Yeah. Will at the time was probably what? 2-1, somewhere in there.
Maybe.
Honestly, I think the sickest thing I've ever done at a church is take a shit, man. I just don't go to churches very often, and I don't
That's
feel
fucking wicked, dude.
I don't feel compelled to misbehave in them because I only ever walk into them willingly as an adult now. So it's I've never been forced to go to church.
Oh yeah, I have been tons.
Not once in my life have I ever been forced to go to church.
I was forced every Sunday, until I was 16 or something.
I've only entered any kind of temple of worship on my own personal free will.
Well,
how lucky for you.
I fingered a girl
Yeah,
in church
I was
one
very
time.
lucky.
I think that's the worst thing I ever did in a church, and we did it in the broom closet. So
Fun.
it was the broom closet extension. I don't know, cabinet full of
This is the
food,
prayer closet.
food
Sex in the
produce.
church parking lot and all of that.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a common list of ooh, let's be bad little
Yeah, yeah.
teenagers.
I got removed. She got removed from that church because somebody told the priest that we had sex in the church, which we did not do.
Mhm.
I guess they were just thinking that what happened was sex because we were by ourselves. But when they called me into the office and were like, because they called both of us into the office, they were like, people are saying you had sex in the church. I was so offended that they thought that I would have sex in the house of God at the time that I was like, yeah, that's fucking right. I did, you piece of shit. And I'd do it again. I just spit in the priest's face because I was so offended at the time. Because I'd finger a girl in church, but I'm not going to like fucking whole hog, like just raw dog it on the couch in the church. Like, come on.
So funny because I don't really see a huge distinction, but
yeah, you would have.
I would have been terrified of going to hell for like raw dogging it in the church.
I feel like fingering is just so damn close.
It is. But like, if it had gone any further than that, and she was like, "Let's do it," I would have been like, "We're in the house of God." At the time, I would have been kind of scared.
Like 3 knuckles deep over there, just like, yeah.
No, I was just doing like outer place stuff. Like I didn't fucking stick it up in there, I just
I know, I got you, but like,
How do you know, Eric? Were you there? Were you watching? Eric's over there in the prayer booth.
Eric actually was there. We went to church together.
You were
That's how we met.
fingering Eric.
Yeah, actually, he was the girl. He's had a sex change since then. But yes, and Eric got kicked out of the church. The end of that story is I was so offended, which I guess unrightfully so. But I was offended because I was like, and I wouldn't go that far. Like I wouldn't, because I'd go to hell. I didn't really like huge believe in hell, but I knew it would have pissed off my parents. It would have, made everybody mad if I did that, and I would have been disappointment to everyone. So I got so pissed at the concept that he would say that I did that I admitted to it. And they excommunicated the girl from the church, and they almost excommunicated me.
Wait.
And,
hell yeah. Fuck that woman.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric.
Your little gremlin ass got to stay, but she couldn't.
She's a Jezebel. She's a Jezebel.
Yeah, it was you, Eric. You remember.
Yeah, Eric, you're a Jezebel those days.
You were a harlot.
I was.
You were a woman of the night.
I was quite the whore. I was there to lead men astray.
She was not a member of the flock, as they say. She was the friend of one of the girls who actually went to church there and was like part of the communion, the community.
Okay.
So she was just like somebody's friend.
She wasn't a regular.
It's weird. She was kind of a regular. I mean, she was there every Sunday, but she wasn't like, you have to like go through, we were Catholic, and to be Catholic, you have to go through like a class to like be part of the church.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You can't just show up and then you're like, I'm Baptist,
You can't just do that either.
Can you? I don't know.
I mean, it's a lot easier. You don't have to do a class, but you have to actually be like, hey, I want to join your church.
If you show up and you're like, yeah, I'm Baptist, I'm from down the street and I went to another Baptist church, I don't like them anymore, can I come here? What's their like reaction?
I mean, like,
do they have to give you an initiation?
Yeah,
there's no initiation. They just like you just go to the pastor or like one of the deacons. You're like, I want to be a member of your church. They're like, cool. And then like later on, like maybe the next week or like the end of the service, they'll be like, this is Tim Bob McGee, and he wants to be a member of our church. Everyone do a vote.
I was gonna say, everybody raise your hands. It's democratic.
Yeah. So like all ayes. Everyone's like, aye. Like one of the deacons would be like, I second this, and then everybody would be like, aye, and they'll be like, any opposed? And I've never seen anyone get opposed, but
shit, some real council shit, like Council of Nicaea and all that shit.
So isn't the whole fucking point of church that you're supposed to accept anyone?
Yeah, but then you get a lot of pedophiles.
It's mostly like monks have to accept anyone, basically. I think monasteries.
I feel like those are mostly the people running the churches.
Exactly. So that's why you got to keep them out.
What was the number?
This is more just a excuse to Joel Osteen all the homeless and people out of your church.
Probably.
And keep them off the
I don't know, dude.
The Catholic church we went to, we had
I don't go to church anymore.
We had like an actual leper.
Did he give you leprosy?
Have you not seen me? Like, look at me. My fingers are falling off the bone, dude.
You got autism.
Yeah.
We
that's
all
separate.
do that.
Yeah.
You can hear it.
You can hear it.
I mean, come on.
I have leprosy.
One of many.
Yeah. But yeah, that dude scared the shit out of me as a kid. I don't know if you've ever like seen a dude with leprosy.
I've
seen Kingdom of Heaven.
Up.
You see Kingdom of Heaven?
I just figured they'd all be bandaged up.
No, he wasn't bandaged up or anything. He like I don't know if medicine has progressed to the point to where like if like, you know, shit gets bad for them, they can just go to the doctor and get it like stitched up and whatever. That might be the case, but like, I mean, he was like fucking falling apart.
What is I don't even know what leprosy is.
It's like your skin falls off of you and like
Yeah.
your cartilage falls off of you. You rot.
Yeah, you rot
Yeah.
all over.
What is
And
that, like
then you die.
genetic? What is that? How do
Yes.
you get it?
Is it genetic?
It's a it's
'Cause I
the
think
same thing as like a mutation.
there were like leper colonies and stuff. I thought it was contagious of some
No,
sort.
it's not contagious. People thought it was contagious. It is not
Oh,
contagious. It was thought to
okay.
be contagious for thousands of years. And that's why it was a big deal that Jesus like would even talk and like be around lepers.
Right.
So at
right.
the time, people were like, you're gonna get leprosy. And that he healed lepers, and then it was a huge deal.
That's gotta be
Right.
like the craziest thing back in the day. Like, you know, imagine being Madame Curie or whatever her name was, and like, you know, you're just going up into the smallpox area, and people are like, "Hey, bitch,
Yeah, exactly.
that's the Hey,
Hey, you're gonna fucking die.
yeah,
Stop.
Like, hey, there's a reason we keep telling you you're a stupid bitch.
Yeah, then she goes in there and she touches them,
Yeah,
and then
like,
they
get cured or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
They're like, whoa,
Yeah, whoa! And she's like, I am the daughter of God.
Yeah, she like pulls out a needle. And, like,
They
she
put her
just
up on a
sticks 'em in.
cross.
Yeah, they
That-
burn her
that-
at the stake.
As one does.
Yeah. But yeah, leprosy's creepy if you're a kid. As an adult, you kind of just feel bad. Because, I mean, at 16, 17, we were still going to that church. And I just remember just being like, damn, I feel bad now for being scared of that guy. Because he was like the nicest dude.
Yeah.
But like, I was terrified because they're basically just like walking zombies.
Well, that's cool that you had a leper at your church. All we got was a local pedophile.
He was the only black guy. Does that
I'm
help?
glad that vetting process worked out for you
He
guys.
didn't get to join the church. He never asked to be a member, Eric.
And you just said they never said no to anyone.
Yeah, it's true.
So, I mean,
Here you go.
okay.
Here's what a leper looks like modern day leper.
Yeah, they just kind of
Patrick, put up a picture of
They
a
look like
modern day
old
leper.
people.
they just kind of shrivel up and rot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They just kind of fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of creepy.
Like that's what they look like at like 25.
Yeah, yeah. And then their hands do this shit, and then they're covered in like boils and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's unfortunate.
yeah. It's super sad
Yeah.
because there's like literally for thousands of years there was not a damn thing you could do for it. There was nothing you could do for it.
That's a
That's
wicked
a rough
one.
one.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, leprosy was like a huge deal, and that's why there were leper colonies
God,
because
how
they
do
were
you-
fucking terrifying.
How do you just
Yeah.
live with that?
One day at a time, I guess.
Yeah, I think one day at a time.
I guess you
know,
do.
That
That
and
guy was
not
like-
always for a
How
very
does
long
leprosy
time.
spread?
I really don't know.
You would think eventually, like, if it's genetic,
It's like cancer. It's like that thing where like your genetic code gets fucked up, and then
Oh,
your
okay,
body
it's
starts falling
it's a
apart.
DNA thing.
Yeah, it's a DNA thing.
Oh,
I know that
okay.
much.
Okay.
Like technically, we could
Yeah.
cure it with
It's a
CRISPR.
glitch.
Yeah, it's a glitch in your DNA.
But once again, Christians hold us back.
Of course, absolutely, because God is punishing the lepers.
Well, just remember, all those miracle workers never could use their magical powers after they get caught by the authorities. It's the weirdest thing.
Isn't that
Suddenly,
strangest?
that well
Strange.
gets tapped once you take them off their custom-made stage.
That's weird. That's weird. I don't know.
Hey,
get all those-
As long as I pay $5, I get the water of Christ. What's that fucking mega churches thing?
Oh,
Belle Delphine. Belle Delphine.
You're thinking of Belle Delphine.
Yeah, yeah, she has the water.
Praise
yeah.
be to Saint
Praise
Delphine.
Do you think we get Delphine on this podcast?
Belle?
I doubt it.
I doubt it. I mean,
Well, she's
she was
not
with
as
Too
popular
Mad.
anymore, right?
No, but she did that thing with Too Mad, and he's fucking nuts.
He's
He's
dead,
dead.
too.
But yeah,
Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Like
Yeah,
she's
I
got to
don't
be
know,
desperate
maybe.
enough now to be
Too
in
Mad's at least famous.
some kind of light.
I mean, I
That's
don't
got
know.
that'd be a skyrocket for us. Do you think we got Belle Defeat on the podcast?
Outside of being a genius businesswoman who capitalized on that shit
I will
hard
say,
fucking core.
Mad respects to her.
Like, I don't really know much else about her. She could be a nice and generous person who would.
Nah,
like, help
I
us
doubt
out.
all that.
I mean, I don't fucking know. I
I
mean, I have no way
she's
of
just
knowing.
a model. Like if we,
Right.
she
A genius
is,
at that.
yeah, she's a genius
give her her
businesswoman
props.
model who who dated a photographer who was a damn good photographer. That
Mhm.
was like that was their whole thing.
Yeah.
and
She
then
made a
eventually,
shitload of money on OnlyFans too.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
eventually it culminated in her having to have sex on camera. But I mean, I cannot imagine the millions of dollars that Belle Delphine made off of that one video of her having sex on camera.
If she capitalized on that properly, I mean,
it was like a
which
3-year
she very
lead
well
time.
May have, considering we're all under the impression that she's a pretty smart businesswoman. She probably won't ever have to fucking work again.
No, there's no way. There's no way she will.
So
ever
what I'm
have to
saying
work.
is our chances for her even accepting
She might be bored,
fairly high.
Yeah, I mean, she could
I
be
mean,
bored.
Higher than I'd give a lot of other YouTubers.
especially higher than people who have ever been in that tier she's
I don't
been
think
in.
we'd get like Aaron from Game Grumps on this podcast, for example.
God,
We
I
got
would
to do
love
the
to get Aaron
cameo.
from Game Grumps on this podcast.
Yeah, but we had to pay for it.
Yeah.
I know. But
I'd
still.
love to have Aaron from Game Grumps on this
I mean, it'd be
podcast.
cool. I'm just saying, like, if we asked him out of the blue, I don't think he'd accept.
I've asked him before, and he didn't respond. so,
Exactly.
yeah.
But I'm saying that I think our chances to get Bella Delphine on out of the blue, like a cold call, a lot higher.
I could
From a 25% to a 45%.
I would
I
say
wonder
it's
if I have any
higher than-
contacts that know her. I might know a guy or two that could
Ask
get in contact.
Maxer. He
yeah,
probably knows her.
Yeah, Maxor probably knows her, or maybe
or at least knows somebody who knows somebody.
What if we
Yeah,
just
yeah.
started dropping names for like people we don't know, like Seth? What if
Yeah,
we just, like,
I've talked to Seth once. He said he would come on the show, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm really busy, so I mean, I'll let you know when I can. I mean, I will, but like, I no promises that it'll ever be anytime soon or ever happen.
Fair.
But I'm not
Yeah.
against it.
That's fair. That's a reasonable answer.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I was like, all right, cool, man, thanks.
It's like I can deal with that.
yeah.
Possibilities out there, but I won't be disappointed if it doesn't happen.
Peter Popoff, by the way, is the man you're thinking of with his Miracle Spring Water. You pay him, you spend
yeah.
him $20 in the mail, and then he sends you Peter Popoff's Miracle Spring Water, which is in a small plastic packet. You sprinkle it on yourself, and then you
blessed
pray
by
to God.
Yep, blessed
That's
by
right.
God.
That's right. And then
It's
all
supposed
of
to come
your
out of a
wishes-
lake.
well, it's the lake in front of his house, if I recall. It's like mega
Yeah.
mansion.
Yeah,
So
supposedly.
he's one of those guys that preaches the word of God on television and then lives in like a house that has 90 rooms.
He owns a
Prosperity
private jet.
gospel. Shit like that.
Oh yeah.
He is one of the most prestigious evangelical preachers.
Someone if I
Demons.
saw in real life without
Demons. Actual demons.
someone who if I saw in real life without a bodyguard, I would fight him in Minecraft.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
I would definitely in Minecraft pull out my 38 special, put it to his head, and say, "Are you feeling lucky?"
No, just believe in.
Put one bullet in.
Tell
spin
God
the
I'll
chamber.
see him up there.
Yep.
Tell God I'm coming.
Just cold fucking call him. Oh god.
Oh man. I'm sure you have a massive system in place to donate all of your riches to the poor upon your death, though. Of course.
Of course, Peter Popoff has one of those.
Of course
he
he
does.
Of course.
He pays 0 taxes. How does that
Motherfucker.
how do you...
Because he's a religious figure.
Of course, but he's like one of the richest people in the world.
Because he's rich.
I know.
It's like
I
that
know.
guy that bought Tyler Perry's jet.
He's got
The
two
guy
things
bought Tyler
going for
Perry's
him.
jet.
He's rich and
Yeah.
religious.
Why can't I do both of these things?
Because you have morals.
He's the guy who say didn't want to be in public planes because he didn't want to be in a long tube filled with demons.
I don't know if that was him.
Oh.
No, that's not Peter Popoff. It's a different guy. But
What a
it's-
name,
God,
though,
it's the
actually.
same
Peter
fucking.
Peter
Popoff.
Popoff?
Is it
I'm
not
about
the
to pop
same
off my Peter,
fucking
dude?
shit? It's the same shit.
Yeah, it is the same shit.
It
Same
is.
shit, different guy.
I
Like,
feel the same way though. I don't want to get on like your average plane because I don't want to get in the fucking giant metal tube full of pedestrians. You know, like I imagine your average human being. Now imagine that it's the same. It's that fucking was it Larry David
Fine.
joke where he's
Most
like,
people are fine.
yeah, but imagine your average person. Then imagine now half of them are worse than that. You know, like, and then you have to spend your time in a giant metal tube in the air with those people. I don't
Look,
remember
as long
who-
as they're not
well-
sitting next to the fucking doors, it's fine.
I'm not arguing that air travel is super fucking comfortable. It's not. Like,
and that's
if,
the fault of airlines.
if
by
you're
the
not
way.
going to pay out the fucking ass for it, then it's just not very comfortable.
Well, and that's not
It's
even true.
Convenient though.
Airlines have throughout the history have notoriously, and this you can all look this up, been decreasing their spaces and comfortability in their planes over and over and raking the profits in of that.
Yeah.
While charging more and more money for tickets.
It's a shareholders thing. Their
Makes sense.
shareholders want more gains. on
invisible
their
line
investment.
go up.
Yeah, invisible line go up.
Yeah.
It's Delta is just hellish. I don't know if you've ever flown.
What's
Delta.
worse is they're one of the better ones.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I can't remember what we flew.
Delta's
what we
my
flew.
preferred.
God,
I've been on like 4 or 5 planes in the last like 3 years through connecting flights and the like. I haven't been on 5 separate vacations.
You hate them like I do. I remember that much.
Yeah, I need like a little anxiety medicine before I get on there, and I need to like put on an audiobook and blank out my surroundings pretty much.
Listen, man, Delta, if you're going out of Memphis Airport or the Atlanta Airport, Delta is the way to go.
I hate it. I hate moving at a high speed. That's what I hate. I don't like
that doesn't bother me.
I don't like moving at a high speed in anything. A car, like anytime you go over 70, my body starts feeling G-forces, and it does not like it.
Honestly, if there was nobody else in the plane, I wouldn't have any trouble at all.
At what mile per hour do you experience a G-force?
I don't know.
There's no way it's at
probably
70,
like 30
right?
something.
No
I mean,
way.
at 1 G,
No,
like a single G.
That much?
Yeah,
I don't know. It probably
that should be at
not
least
that high.
100.
That's like
1,000. What's the fastest airplane?
G-forces are weird. It's not about going in a straight line. It's about changing directions.
21 miles per hour is 1 G.
Okay.
So
you were pretty close, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't like G-forces. It makes my stomach upset. I get all fucky. I start panicking when the fucking chair starts rumbling and stuff. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I like the takeoff. I hate the landing.
I
That's
hate
when I
both
get
of them.
sick.
I don't
The
get
takeoff
bothered.
is all right.
You've been on a plane?
Yeah,
How many times?
once.
How old were you?
Old enough to know what was happening.
Okay. I was going to be like, were you like a kid? Because as a kid, I fucking loved planes.
Yes, but like a teenager.
Okay.
Like I was going to Disney World.
Were you?
Okay.
As like a 6-year-old, I thought planes fucking ruled. I was like, this is awesome. We're in the sky. You know, like I had no sense of fear.
Yeah, no. Up until the recent vacations where I finally flew public, I'd only been on a plane twice before. Once as a baby, which we can just throw out. You know, I don't fucking remember that. And then the only other time was through the local martial arts that my older brother was teaching at the time. There was like this heart doctor who worked there.
Martial arts on a plane?
Hell
No.
yeah, dude. That rules.
We knew a guy through martial arts who owned a private plane.
Oh.
And he was just like, bro, y'all say you've never been in a plane?
That's where he did martial arts
He's
on
like,
the plane.
Yeah,
Come
the
on.
private plane.
He's
On
like,
the wing.
up at the plane. So a doctor just took us up in the air in the plane just for funsies
Oh,
one
yeah.
day. So that was my first teenage experience in a plane. And I was just like, this is pretty cool. It messed with my stomach a
Was it
little
like
bit.
a small plane or a big
It was.
plane?
It was like a Cessna. It wasn't. It was so that he could
Patrick, put a picture of a Cessna on. Put a picture of a MiG.
a MiG-21.
MiG-21 fighter on screen.
On top of a Cessna?
Shooting down the Cessna.
Okay, yeah. Make sure that it's destroying
Yeah,
the
I think
Cessna.
a MiG-21 would be more than a match
More
for your
than
average
enough
Cessna.
for one
Yeah.
Cessna. A
that
Cessna's
is-
like a single propeller plane. It's
Yeah.
just
Whereas a
if you can,
MiG-21
show the
is like-
Cessna trying to escape but failing.
Like the MiG-21 is like peak
Make sure it's desperate.
1970s,
Make sure it's very
1980s
desperate.
Soviet fighter technology.
That
That was like the F-16 of fucking the Soviets.
I flew a Cessna when I was like 8. That one time I told you about this before. I said this on the
Yeah,
podcast
yeah, you
before.
got to like steer on his lap.
My grandfather had a Cessna.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all it was. And he did do one thing neat. He took us up and they dove, and he like picked something up and like floated it backwards through the air like to us.
Did he barrel roll?
He did not do a barrel roll.
Damn.
He is not
Damn.
like his father at all.
You're becoming more like your father. I guess I should be thankful.
I completely like. I know that the barrel roll is a reference to
yeah.
Fox.
Say it.
Say it.
Say it.
Fox in space.
Put it
Fox
up on
and-
put it up
Fox
on
and-
screen, Patrick.
Fox and Space Fighters.
Yeah, there we go.
That's it. The
That's
Fox
my
and
favorite.
Space Fighters game.
Yes.
But yeah, I never actually played any of them, so I don't like know the.
You've never
the
played.
normal lines.
You've never played Fox and Space Fighters 64.
Dude, Fox and Space Fighters is so good.
We should really get you playing Fox and Space Fighters for the show. I can't believe. I mean, like honestly though, I am surprised you've never played it. I
Yeah,
guess
I
you
mean,
said
I
you never
actually-
had a Nintendo. So
Yeah, that was the biggest
I
reason.
forget. Are you a sci-fi person or are you a fantasy guy?
Both? They're fine.
What do you prefer?
Depends on the day. like, I love Warhammer 40K related stuff, but the Warhammer fantasy games for Total War are really fun, so I'm enjoying that. So
Where are you playing?
I'm playing as the Lizard Man.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
The big fucking horde, basically.
I like them.
Yeah.
They're fun. They lack some distance stuff for their regular troops, but they make up with it for some big artillery and magic stuff. And all of their infantry are big fucking smashers.
Which really I know you're a big fan of.
Mhm.
Yeah. I've seen when you were on stream the other day, I saw your lizard folk and the other thing.
Which
folder.
lizard
you were
would you
trying to save that
smash?
image. I just wanted to. I mean, we all know you don't have to try to hide why you're playing the lizard.
Which lizard
I
would
want to
you wanna
feel like
smash?
a big lizard man, so I got
Which
like the
lizard
big
would you
hips.
smash the most?
Which lizard would I smash the most?
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, they are all very unappealing looking.
Okay.
Like in Warhammer,
There's
they're
not
just-
one sexy
Like,
lizard.
I'm
lady.
trying to
That
think.
doesn't answer the
There are
question.
sexy lizards out there, just I'm not
A
not
slink?
the ones, the skinks.
Yeah.
I guess it would probably have to be the skinks
You
because
wouldn't do up the ghost of the forest or whatever he's called.
I'm not familiar.
What's that
The
fucking
big albino alligator looking motherfucker.
you say at the end?
Him. Yeah, I actually do know who you're talking about, but no, I would not. I don't think I would want to make love to the giant albino alligator. who
What, you got
wanders
something
the
against
forests.
white people, Eric?
Yeah.
No. Just alligators, I guess.
If they were a
As far
giant
as love
albino
making is
woman,
concerned.
you'd
If
be
they're
into
from Florida.
Yeah, I guess.
it. My fucking ear hurts.
I
God
gotta
damn.
admit, they're just not anthropomorphic enough for me, man. They look like
They're
lizards.
they're dangerously
yeah,
furry.
they look like dinosaurs and shit, which is cool. I love commanding them as troops, but I'm not sexually attracted to them very much. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm sure I could send you a couple of things that would change your mind. I'll find you some stuff.
I'm sure you could. I gotta be completely honest. The world of drawn art is such that I'm 100% sure that. Well, also it's the lizard men.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't really see any female representing ones. Oh, it's because they don't have females. That's it.
They
They're-
don't have
Yeah, they
females?
spawn out of the ground.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
the old ones like
Yeah, the old
make
ones
them.
made them. And they like just spawn out like pools in the ground that they make.
They don't actually have females.
Yeah. So there's literally no female representing lizard
Jesus Christ.
men.
I fucking I know you can't see it, but I just fucking eye rolled so hard. God, that fucking blows. No sexy Look, what fucking fantasy writer is like, all right, I'm going to make an army of lizards, but no women, all right? No sexy lizard women.
I've seen some representations of a certain story in Skyrim on websites before that I definitely watched to completion.
Yeah, I think
a certain
we
story
all-
about a maid.
Yeah, I think we've all. I think her name was Lift something. if I
Lifts
recall.
her tail, I think, is her
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
But
She
Yeah.
she polished a spear. I remember.
so again, yeah, I mean, you can show me some kinky ass shit, and I'm just like, yeah, sure.
yeah, of course.
You know, that's fine.
all this
You
is making
know.
me think of is that one Pokemon that
Sexy
everybody wants to
lizard
fuck. That's
girl.
like the black lizard.
I don't remember. Hey, do you think grapes and milk would taste good?
I mean, they do on their
Grape
own.
milkshake.
No.
Like,
Grapes and milk.
I mean, like
Just
if you put
eat
grapes in a
grapes and
bowl
drink milk.
and then put milk in it,
Like okay, so like grapes
Oh.
as cereal.
yeah.
I mean,
I saw that
Maybe?
in a video, like on a TikTok ad, and it got me
Mm.
curious.
I mean, I guess it would be fine. It doesn't sound like something I would want to eat, but
Like, do you think those textures go together?
No, I'm just imagining like the
Not-
milk and then the citrus.
not for our palate.
It's not gonna be citrus. Is
But
are grapes?
Grapes are citrus, right?
Are they? They're
They're
vined.
definitely in the same category to some
No,
extent,
really?
but like they're close.
They got that tart citrusy flavor.
Mm.
Kind of like an orange or something, you know? Like
I don't think they're technically a citrus fruit like an
God
orange. for
damn, this is
sure.
good conversation. Is a grape citrus? Let's make a poll right now. Patrick, put it up on the screen. Is a grape citrus? Yes, no. Let the audience decide.
Or just go to Wikipedia and figure it out. But you know, it's up to you. You can just
live in a world that you make up opinion by opinion, or you can actually try and figure out what's going on in the world.
Well, I'm a liberal, Eric, so I already do that. And as a matter of fact...
And as a matter of fact, there are 47 genders.
Yes. grapes are citrus and tomatoes are not fruit, I'll have you know. You're laughing. You think this is funny? I do, Maury. I do think this is funny. You killed those people. You told them that grapes are citrus. I did.
I'm tired of pretending it's not.
I'm tired of pretending they're not. And they're good in milk.
What do you do? What do you get when you put a man in a society where he can't eat grapes and milk, Maury?
I don't see how this has anything to do with it.
You get what you fucking deserve! Patrick, I guess put in the fucking gunshot sound effect. I don't fucking... What if the Joker was about grapes and milk? That was the whole fucking movie.
That was his entire motivation. He just want grapes with milk to be normal.
People go see the movie and they're like, I really don't get this one. I
didn't quite understand.
Everybody's leaving the theater just like their head in their hands, just like,
what was the joke?
DC's really going off the fucking edge. Yeah. I really loved the Joker before going to see that movie until DC decided that his whole thing was about grapes and milk.
Grapes and milk.
The Joker's very well known for.
Yeah.
His
what if that was the reason he was
grapes and
assaulted in the beginning of the movie? Hey, that's that clown that likes grapes and milk.
He starts running away. Grapes and milk start flying out of his pockets.
I want to imagine he's got like a big bowl that's like sloshing around as he's trying to run through the street.
They're beating him up in the alleyway. They're kicking him in the stomach. He's throwing up grapes and milk. Why is that such a funny visual?
Arthur, you can't keep losing my grapes and milk if they're gonna work for me.
I think we found a good name for the episode. Grapes and milk.
He's like loading a 38 special, the snub nose he's just got in his pocket. He goes to the hospital.
Kids in the subway. Yeah. He's like, hey, baby, you ever heard? I heard you hate grapes and milk.
He goes to the hospital. He's like doing jokes to the little leukemia kids. He falls over and grapes and milk fall out of his pocket.
He like hurriedly picks them up.
Fucking scrambles. Everybody's just looking at him.
Arthur, you dropped your grapes and milk in front of a bunch of kids.
What do you think? What do you expect us to make of this?
Oh my God!
I'm gonna have to let you go. I don't have a choice. He's kicking the dumpster into a bunch of grapes and milk.
Everybody in the it's funny because I'm imagining like the people in the theater watching this movie, they're like
perplexed.
They can't tell if it's like some sort of art piece or like they don't know what the fuck is going on.
Oh my God.
Imagine being one of the set designers and like the director's like, I want you to fill a garbage bag full of green balloons and milk.
I want you to get one of those green trash dumpsters in an alleyway. I want you to just fill it with grapes and milk. The guy's
I want it full of grapes and milk.
I guess he's paying me $80,000 a year. I guess.
No, you're a set designer. You're not making $80,000 a year.
Well, the designer, I guess. I mean, like the guy who fills the actual trash can with grapes and milk.
He's making $30,000.
Yeah, he's making 30.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
He works on 9 different movies a year, and
he lives in California, so he is technically dying broke.
Yeah, he's starving to death. He's starving to death. He eats the food that they have on set.
Yeah, that's the only time he eats.
Also, Joaquin Phoenix. Just I don't know why he's such like a serious person. And then they're interviewing him after the movie on a talk show. They're like, so you did that like grapes and milk movie? And he's like, yeah, it was actually a really tough role for me. I had to get myself
life-changing experience.
I had to get myself into the thought process of a man who eats his grapes with milk in a bowl like cereal. It was
I ate nothing but that for 3 weeks straight.
It's that
the hospital recovery took 3 more weeks. And then I started
it's
the
that
movie.
scene where like he kills the guy and the little guy's trying to get out of the apartment. He's like, Arthur, could you give me a bowl of grapes and milk?
He's like covered in blood. He's like pouring the milk into a bowl. It hands the little guy the fucking bowl. It's got like a little bit of blood in it. He just looks at it really despondently, and he opens the door for him and lets him go. He just waddles out.
Thank you. I'll be going now. Oh boy, oh boy.
How much further can we take?
I think that's about.
I think that's about as far as we can take it.
I think that's we took that bowl of grapes and milk.
Well, I can't think of anything else to go to beat
I can't either.
This has been the Anything Cast.
This has been the Anything Cast. Eat your grapes and milk and grow big and strong. I'm Patrick.
I'm Eric.
I'm Will.
And we love you.
Eat your grapes and milk.